concern. Once the Yaman's satellite navigation system is fully launched, its superior performance will undoubtedly attract global investors and tech companies. By then, forget about $800 billion. Yemen's domestic economy could very well break through the trillion-dollar mark. As for the population, that's a bit more complicated. Zhang Yi was considering initially relaxing immigration policies. The prosperity of a city is intrinsically linked to its ordinary citizens. The more people there are, the greater the economic value generated, indirectly boosting Yemen's GDP. Once these factors improve, and then focus on promoting it, and a massive influx of people will surely pour into Yemen Kingdom. With this thought in mind, Zhang Yi summoned Charles once more and outlined the immigration policy details. Charles immediately set about making arrangements. Official announcement. The Kingdom of Yemen will soon relax its immigration policies. We welcome people from all corners of the globe to join the Yemen family. Here, we pledge to grant every successful immigrant the same conditions and treatment as all Yemen citizens. We offer abundant living facilities, comprehensive medical equipment, and excellent healthcare conditions. Here, we guarantee to all, should any Yemen resident encounter injustice abroad, we will firmly protect all their lawful rights and interests. This entire proclamation, promoting the Kingdom of Yemen's superior conditions. It also highlights the Kingdom of Yemen's historically formidable approach to action. As long as one legally obtains citizenship of the Kingdom of Yemen, should you encounter any unfair treatment internationally, the Kingdom of Yemen will intervene to resolve it. Look at that. How bold. Globally, only the Kingdom of Yemen would dare issue such a bold declaration. No other nation, not even the world's dominant beacon nation, would have the audacity to make such a declaration. Damn, this really gets me excited. Let me ask you this, who wouldn't want a nation with such formidable backing and strength as their rock-solid support? My heart's racing, how do I immigrate? Compared to the Kingdom of Yemen, our nation feels so weak I want to emigrate too. Our country is the same, always surrendering at the drop of a hat. The international community even calls us the White Flight Nation. It's so embarrassing. I've decided to move to the Kingdom of Yemen too. How do I immigrate? No more words needed, the guy's already at the door. Holy crap? The guy upstairs is a real go-getter, his IP really went to the door? Not really possible, they've been doing business in the Kingdom of Yemen all along, huh? So badass. That declaration is seriously cool. With a country like the Kingdom of Yemen backing us, we'd have the confidence to go abroad. Yes. We're leaving Bolan to settle in Yemen. I believe it's a nation with real backbone. A global wave of immigration has erupted. People from all corners of the world, many, moved by the announcement, are already preparing their immigration plans. In just one afternoon, the embassies of the Kingdom of Yemen around the world received tens of thousands of immigration applications. Such an overwhelming response? Zhang Yi smiled. This was thanks to the reputation the Kingdom of Yemen had built through its previous campaigns. It had demonstrated to the world, beyond its fearless fighting spirit and formidable military might, but also its compassion in aiding the vulnerable. When other nations hesitated to intervene in Gaza, the Kingdom of Yemen disregarded warnings from the Lighthouse Nation and Yisili, and resolutely provided military aid to Gaza. A nation like this can never be anything but exceptional. Moreover, the Kingdom of Yemen has personally declared that it will take firm action whenever any of its citizens face injustice abroad. This profound sense of security. Who wouldn't be tempted? Of course. Not every country that makes such a claim will be believed. Take the Korean Peninsula nations, for instance. They do possess some capabilities, but their stance on the international stage has always been weak. Especially Korea. Cases of Korean mold, a derogatory term for Korean men sexually assaulting Korean women, frequently occur domestically. Instead of punishing the perpetrators, instead, they choose to sweep things under the rug, secretly threatening victims not to speak out. By comparison, the Kingdom of Yemen is simply too badass, too cool. First off, Yemen Kingdom couldn't possibly have mold. Second, when such incidents occur, given the Kingdom of Yemen's uncompromising stance against all wrongdoing, it's utterly unthinkable that they would ever side with the aggressor or resort to threatening the victim such despicable acts. Moreover, many people's admiration for the Yemen Kingdom stems from multifaceted reasons, not just a single point. Chapter 191, Talent Rewards, Business Elite. The immigration surge continues to intensify. Countries are watching with envy, because once this policy was implemented, has prompted wealthy individuals worldwide to flock to the Kingdom of Yemen. Those who haven't yet made the move are also closely observing the situation. Moreover, data reveals, even among those who haven't yet visited the Kingdom of Yemen, numerous globally renowned tycoons have already begun acquiring assets within its borders. This can be understood as a form of indirect investment. Alternatively, it can be interpreted as that global tycoons have recognized the enormous market potential of the Kingdom of Yemen. The economic impact this has on numerous countries worldwide is not to be underestimated. Yet they remain powerless to counter such actions. How does the Kingdom of Yemen manage to pull off so many schemes? The leadership of various nations are growing increasingly frustrated. They seem powerless to do anything but watch helplessly as a mighty tiger rises in Shandong. After all, militarily, those who could defeat it dared not fight. Who can blame them? The Kingdom of Yemen possesses a national treasure. As for those who couldn't, forget it, all they could do was grumble under their breath. Notice, personal prestige has surpassed 250,000. Congratulations on receiving a talent reward. A team of top-tier business elites. Talent reward? A business elite? Jiang Yi hadn't realized that reaching a certain prestige threshold could actually grant rewards. Immediately afterward, Jiang Yi's eyes lit up. He inwardly marveled at how timely the system's reward had been. Because the talent he currently lacked most was in the business sector. Other areas of development had already taken shape. The top-tier talents under his command, Alpha, Henry, and the others were all battlefield specialists. Charles and his think tank is focused on national governance. As for the commercial sector, Jiang Yi currently relies solely on attracting foreign investors to bring in external capital. While these individuals may bring benefits to Yamen, they come for profit and will abandon. They could abandon the Yamen kingdom at any moment. The instability factor is far too great. But talents rewarded by the system, according to management, are 100% loyal to the host. They won't betray Jiang Yi. They won't betray Jiang Yi. Jiang Yi clicked to view the talent details. After a brief review, he gained a general understanding of the system's latest reward. This group comprised 100 individuals. They possessed the highest level of commercial talent, boasting the world's most elite business acumen, the most elite business thinking patterns. Let me put it this way. Give any one of these 100 individuals $1 million in capital, and they can multiply that some tenfold within 3 months. Don't underestimate a mere tenfold increase. Anyone with even a basic understanding of economics knows how terrifying a 1000% return on investment truly is. You've heard of Warren Buffett, the legendary investor known as the Oracle of Omaha, right? You've heard of him, right? Yes. These individuals can be considered on the same level as Buffett. Jiang Yi was overjoyed. The system was clearly gearing up to make the Yamen kingdom's economy take off. Jiang Yi clicked to redeem. The 100 individuals appeared within the royal palace. Fortunately, the palace hall was spacious enough, otherwise it wouldn't have accommodated all of them. Jiang Yi proceeded according to custom. Select the individual with the highest average attributes as the representative. You're the one, Anthony. Anthony and the other two showed significantly better average values than the rest, according to the system. Jiang Yi concluded. This was a critical hit from the system, yielding the elite of the elite. It is my honor to serve you, Your Majesty. Jiang Yi sat back in his recliner, nodding slowly. Take a seat. Yes. Anthony took the seat opposite Jiang Yi, dressed in the quintessential elite attire. He wore a spotless custom-tailored suit. He exuded the aura of a business tycoon. Tell me your understanding of the current business world. Jiang Yi began. Anthony flashed a polite smile, adjusted his posture, and began his response. Personally, I view the business world as a realm brimming with both competition and opportunity. It can be interpreted from multiple angles. Economically speaking, commerce serves as the driving force behind economic development. Markets create opportunities by producing goods and providing services, facilitating resource allocation, and increasing the wealth of communities, enterprises, and even nations. All the processes we observe, investment, production, sales, and consumption, are integral parts of commerce. They are interconnected, forming a complex economic cycle. Anthony spent over 10 minutes. He elaborated at length about his personal understanding of business. I must say, he truly is a talent rewarded by the system. Even many economists might struggle to grasp his words. Moreover, his perspective on the market is quite unique. Do you have any suggestions for the economy of Yamen Kingdom? Next, Jiang Yi posed the question he cared about most. Since the system rewards talent, they retain their real-world memories. Anthony possessed profound knowledge of the kingdom of Yamen. I believe the Yamen kingdom should first establish a chamber of commerce. A merchant's guild? Yes, it would benefit the nation's development. A national chamber of commerce. It is a non-profit organization within a nation composed of various commercial organizations, enterprises, and business practitioners. Its primary focus is to promote national commercial development. It safeguards the interests of the business community and strengthens domestic and international commercial exchanges and cooperation. Although it is non-profit, it allows for swift control over the nation's mainstream economic system, facilitating manipulation. Alright, I'll appoint you as the Chamber of Commerce President of the Kingdom of Yamen. Go ahead and make the arrangements. I'll grant you the highest authority. Jiang Yi considered it. Additionally, I'll provide you with $10 billion in startup capital. I won't interfere with this $10 billion. You may use it for any purpose you see fit. I'll also assign others to assist you in accomplishing everything you wish to do. Your ultimate goal is singular, to generate massive profits for the Kingdom of Yamen. How does that sound? As a top-tier business operator, Anthony was utterly confident. Your Majesty, absolutely no problem. He stood up, bowed solemnly to Jiang Yi, and said earnestly, thank you for your trust. You're welcome. Jiang Yi smiled. If I don't rely on Anthony, who else would I rely on? Anthony was quite clever. After obtaining authorization from Jiang Yi, he immediately dispatched some of the other 99 individuals rewarded by the system to other countries at random. He also provided them with partial start-up capital. These business elites covered nearly every profitable sector within the industry. Dispersing them all would yield more opportunities. Perhaps one day in the future, we may hear news of significant achievements by someone among this dispersed group. Indirectly, they develop abroad and can monopolize parts of that country's industries. At critical moments, they could coordinate efforts from within and without, serving the Yamen kingdom. After arranging this matter, Jiang Yi proceeded to the reception hall to meet an important guest. Chapter 192, Building the World's Largest Medical Center. In the hall, an elderly gentleman dressed in a traditional Chinese robe and simple attire had been waiting for some time. Upon seeing Jiang Yi arrive, he rose to greet him with a warm smile. My apologies, Mr. Su. Some matters delayed me, hence my tardiness. I hope you'll forgive me. Su Suqing, 73 years old. His position, Vice President of Imperial Capital Medical College. The reason for her visit to Yamen Kingdom was Jiang Yi's prior cooperation agreement with Dragon Nation. Longguo agreed to dispatch a group of medical professionals to assist Yamen Kingdom in developing its healthcare system. Su Suqing is the lead figure of this delegation. Not at all, we just arrived ourselves. Allow me to introduce you, this gentleman is the Director of Neurology at Imperial Capital Sheha Hospital, and this is Director Li from Surgery. The two professors over there are both medical professors from Tongji University in Huazhong. They've all come to assist the Kingdom of Yamen in building a robust healthcare system. Jiang Yi immediately approached them with warmth. He shook hands with them, expressing his gratitude. Who would have thought the King of Yamen was so young? Indeed. There's an ancient saying in the Dragon Kingdom, heroes emerge in youth. Ha, I imagine the king must hear that saying quite often. That's a fine saying. I heard it countless times during my previous visit to the Dragon Kingdom. Not at all, you flatter me. Jiang Yi replied modestly, you've all traveled a long way. Please, this way we've arranged a banquet to welcome you. Imperial Capital Medical College. Shaiha Hospital. Huazhong Tongji. All top-tier hospitals in Longguo. To hold positions like director or professor there, you can imagine how seriously the Dragon Nation takes this matter. Those who arrived were all heavyweight figures. Jiang Yi naturally had to host them properly. At the banquet, Jiang Yi shared his vision for the future of healthcare in the Kingdom of Yamen. Beyond the joint projects already established with the Dragon Nation, Jiang Yi also planned to construct a super-large medical center in the main city area. To construct a super-large medical center, this medical center must be massive in scale and fully equipped. As for the investment, Jiang Yi's budget stands at $8 billion. Upon hearing this, Su Suqing and the others were all taken aback. Jiang Yi was clearly aiming to build the world's largest medical center. Such a massive investment. This demonstrated Jiang Yi's profound recognition of healthcare's importance. As industry professionals, they were deeply gratified and offered their full support. After all, the challenge of disease. It has always been a major obstacle troubling humanity. Every year, countless families worldwide are torn apart when a loved one succumbs to a serious illness, shattering what was once a happy household. After decades in medicine, they have witnessed too much human suffering. Their insights into this matter are beyond the comprehension of ordinary people. Of course, Jiang Yi's actions stem from his own considerations. Because while healthcare enterprises are tied to public welfare, they also represent one of a nation's, a vital economic pillar. Take major healthcare nations like the Lighthouse Nation and the Dragon Nation, for example. The healthcare industry holds a significant position in their annual revenues. According to official U.S. data, the healthcare sector's profits have consistently accounted for an average of 18% of the United States GDP. One healthcare management group, Healthcare Incorporated, reported staggering annual revenues of 464.5 billion Dragon Nation currency over the past 2 years. Its post-tax net income also reached 37.2 billion Longguo currency. Additionally, a hospital named Cedar, ranking as the second most profitable hospital in Lighthouse Nation. Its annual revenue reached 49.3 billion Longguo currency, with net income of 10 billion Longguo currency, achieving an astonishing net profit margin of 20%. Medical service revenue alone accounted for 91% of its total income. And these are merely the top 2 most profitable hospitals in the Lighthouse Nation, not to mention that the Lighthouse Nation has over 1,000 profit-driven hospitals. Longguo's healthcare profit model primarily relies on cutting-edge medical equipment. According to recent statistics, the total number of medical device manufacturers in Longguo has surpassed 30,000. Operating revenue has exceeded 1.2 trillion yuan. This clearly demonstrates the immense profits involved. The large-scale medical center Jiang Yi aims to build will naturally incorporate medical device manufacturing. However, achieving the level of Longguo in the short term is simply impossible. China commands approximately 27% of the global medical device market. The Kingdom of Yamen simply cannot match that scale anytime soon. But gradually catching up is better than doing nothing, isn't it? Jiang Yi considered himself an ambitious man. Opportunities worth seizing? He would never let them slip away. After sharing dinner with several experts, Jiang Yi arranged for someone to escort them to their accommodations. You've worked hard all this way. Not at all, not at all. Su Suqing smiled warmly and said, as a healer, saving lives and helping others without complaint is simply my duty. Jiang Yi felt a deep sense of respect welling up inside him. This was a true expert. In this era where pharmacies plaster discount ads across every street, resorting to any means necessary to push their products, an age of cutthroat competition where people prey on one another, perhaps only such seasoned practitioners can still hold on to that original aspiration of healing the world, seeking neither fame nor profit, seeking only the peace and well-being of all living beings. After seeing them off to rest, Jiang Yi concluded his day's work, exited the incarnation function, and returned to his room to rest. He slept soundly. The next day, after finishing the 8 a.m. class, During the break after class, he opened the game on the playground. Right away, he received a frontline report from Charles. Trouble brewing again? Still about Yisili. Recently, Yisili might be reeling from too many blows. He's been desperately trying to make his presence known. He's trying to stir up trouble, accelerating the pace and scale of his conquest of Gasha. According to our intelligence sources, Yisili has likely secured more weaponry from the Lighthouse Nation and is preparing for a major offensive this time. Jiang Ye's expression froze. It wasn't that he was surprised Yisili was planning something big. They'd been planning this for a while. Rather, it was the phrase "our intelligence personnel" that caught Jiang Ye's attention. It seemed the intelligence operatives dispatched last time had now gradually climbed to the upper echelons of Yisili, gaining access to this kind of information. Oh, right, I forgot to mention a week ago, one of our operatives successfully infiltrated as the assistant to Yisili's deputy minister of defense. All this intelligence came from him. Jiang Yi nodded. The intelligence system is indeed effective. The talent we've cultivated is truly impressive. Otherwise, such rapid promotions wouldn't be possible. Charles chuckled with a twisted sense of humor. I bet Yisili knows they'll eventually fall in their own intelligence field, the one they're most proud of. It'll drive them crazy. Jiang Yi smiled, reminding Gaza to stay vigilant. If they couldn't take down Hamas, they might well take it out on the Gaza refugees. Got it. Jiang Yi knew Yisili all too well. A bunch of deranged bastards. They were the type to lose more than they gained, and they'd do it without a second thought. Chapter 193, Demanding Tolls at the Gate? Things unfolded exactly as Jiang Yi had predicted. At precisely 1:32 p.m. that afternoon, Yisili launched a massive bombing campaign against Gasha. The scale of this bombing was unprecedented. Nearly two-thirds of the city was engulfed. Fortunately, thanks to Jiang Ye's warning, Honda and his team had taken refuge in the underground base beforehand, so there were no casualties. However, many hidden entrances to the underground passages were bombed into collapse. This posed significant obstacles to Hamas' subsequent guerrilla operations. It failed to strike a blow against Hamas. As Jiang Yi had predicted, Israel proceeded to bomb the Gaza refugee camp. Bombing the Gaza refugee camp resulted in the deaths of some refugees who failed to evacuate in time. Preliminary estimates indicate 70 to 80 fatalities and over 300 injuries. Approximately 50 individuals suffered severe injuries. Israel's atrocities once again shattered people's understanding of evil, sparking an online outcry condemning Yisili's atrocities. Verbal condemnation rained down. Yet Yisili has long grown accustomed to such situations. He paid it no mind whatsoever. Your Majesty, thank you for your timely warning. Without it, we would have suffered heavy losses today. Han came specifically to express gratitude for this matter. He came specifically to express his gratitude. Because Hamas had planned an operation today. Many Hamas fighters would have been blown to pieces. Jiang Yi said nothing, only cautioning Han to be vigilant. The attack by Yisraeli. It's quite possible it wasn't just once. Just minutes ago, Charles had relayed new intelligence. It said Yisrael was frantically searching for the main location of Hamas's underground base. Who knows what he's plotting? But it certainly wasn't anything good. Jiang Yi had Charles bring over the unprocessed state affairs from this morning. One item in particular caught Jiang Yi's attention. Somali pirates? Jiang Yi suspected he'd misread it and checked repeatedly. Because it stated, Somali pirates were openly threatening the Kingdom of Yemen, demanding the kingdom pay tolls for all ships transiting the Gulf of Aden. No. Jiang Yi had only seen the top part, failing to notice the lower section mentioning the waters near Honghai and Asanyang. Jiang Yi chuckled. Somali pirates. A pirate organization operating in Somali waters and the Gulf of Aden, preying on foreign merchant vessels. Or by holding crew members captive for ransom. Their reputation is truly notorious. For instance, in 2008, a French luxury yacht, a Spanish fishing vessel carrying over 20 people, and the Panama flight cargo ship Maris were all hijacked by Somali pirates. And these are merely some of the more prominent cases. Countless other hijackings, large and small, have occurred. This has made Somali pirates universally despised by nations worldwide. In recent years, they have increasingly resorted to violent hijackings using rocket-propelled grenades or light weapons. This poses a serious challenge to international shipping safety. As their success rate increases, they have tasted the rewards and subsequently expanded their operations to vast waters extending 500 nautical miles offshore. They aspire to become maritime tyrants, acting as local bullies. Speaking of which, Somalia has a long history. Piracy has been prevalent since the 10th century. To this day, after all these years, there has been scarcely a single effective crackdown. This is precisely why Somali pirates have grown so brazen. Now they've even gone so far as to extort Jiang Yi. Jiang Yi certainly won't let them have their way. Right. Jiang Yi suddenly remembered something. Could this matter be connected to the Lighthouse Nation? Charles pondered for a moment. It was possible. Jiang Yi's lips curved into a smile. This whole thing was actually quite suspicious. He'd been in maritime trade for quite some time, yet Somali pirates had never made a move. But now, during the most sensitive period between Yisili and Gaza, they started showing up to cause trouble. Jiang Yi didn't believe there wasn't some underhanded scheme at play. Look into it. Report back to me immediately once you have results. Jiang Yi instructed. Charles immediately dispatched his team. By 8 p.m., the results were in. We discovered that the night before last, a private jet from the Lighthouse Nation landed in Somalia. It remained there for 7 or 8 hours before departing and ultimately flying to Yisili. Who was this person? Have you identified them? Reports indicate it was likely the Lighthouse Nation's Minister of Justice, Melik. Got it. The truth is out. Zhang Yi knew it would turn out this way. What's our next move? Charles asked. The military strength of the Kingdom of Yaman is no small matter. It ranks among the world's top powers. Especially its air power. The Foaming fighter jet completely outclasses the 5th-generation aircraft of the Lighthouse Nation. However, its naval power is virtually non-existent. The Lighthouse Nation likely exploited this weakness, using Somali pirates to threaten the Kingdom of Yaman. This prevents the Kingdom of Yaman from focusing its efforts on intervening in the affairs of Yisili. This creates an opening for Yisili. Their plan is quite clever. Zhang Yi smiled and said, in that case, it's time for us to draw our swords. Looking back at the history of the Kingdom of Yaman, though wars were frequent, they were all minor skirmishes, hardly what you'd call real wars. This was the perfect opportunity for Zhang Yi to wage a glorious battle, showcasing his prowess to the world. It would also serve as a warning to any nation harboring ambitions toward the Kingdom of Yaman. Not just any small fry. They all have the capital to challenge the Kingdom of Yaman. Let's convene a meeting first to discuss this. Zhang Yi instructed Charles to convene a meeting with all the major power brokers. Of course, not the alphas. This kind of business doesn't require someone of alpha's caliber to handle. Instead, it was the original armed commanders Abdullah, Charles, and Hammond. Come to think of it, Abujal and his crew had some history with the Somali pirates. When the Hush armed forces were first established, their activities were essentially the same as those of the Somali pirates. They were both engaged in plundering and pillaging. It was only after receiving aid from Ilan that the Hushan militia gradually got back on track. They stopped doing these dirty, unsavory jobs. Only the Somali pirates continued their old trade. Upon hearing that their former peers were to be targeted, Abujal and his crew didn't hesitate. They had experience. These men are like a swarm of flies. When you strike them, they scatter, but the moment you turn away, they swarm back to harass you. They must be eradicated at the root, otherwise, the fallout will be disastrous. Abdul stood up and voiced his opinion. Exactly. Charles agreed, and I'm concerned that Somali might have obtained weapons from the Lighthouse Nation. After all, Somali wouldn't work for the Lighthouse Nation for nothing. They must have received something in return. This is practically certain. After all, Somali once targeted even the Lighthouse Nation's merchant ships. Suddenly working for the Lighthouse Nation, without receiving benefits? Could it be that those pirates suddenly had a change of heart, only to be conveniently seized by the Lighthouse Nation? It's impossible to even consider. You guys discuss it. Just give me the results afterward. While Abujal and the others were discussing, Zhang Yi excused himself early. Dealing with such trash doesn't require Zhang Yi's personal involvement. Chapter 194, The 7 Warlords of the Sea. The meeting lasted only a little over half an hour. The consensus was to directly strike Somali pirates. After receiving Zhang Yi's approval, the Yaman authorities issued an official statement. In response to the rampant piracy in the Gulf of Aden and the Honghai Sea today, the Kingdom of Yaman has decided to maintain security in these waters, resolutely combat piracy, and safeguard the peaceful development of maritime trade. The announcement immediately reverberated. It caused quite a stir worldwide. Many who first noticed the Kingdom of Yaman's move reacted with excitement. After all, whenever the Yaman Kingdom intervenes, it always results in major events and grand spectacles. Clearly, something spectacular was about to unfold. But upon closer inspection of the content, crack down on what? Cracking down on pirates? No offense, but does the Kingdom of Yaman even have a naval force? Cracking down on pirates? I thought I was seeing things. The Kingdom of Yaman doesn't seem to have developed any naval power, does it? This is hilarious. They don't even have a navy. Are they just trying to scare people? While I'm all for the Kingdom of Yaman, let's be real, your air force is solid, but your naval power? Seriously? As far as I recall, the Kingdom of Yaman only has a handful of ancient, obsolete vessels left over from antiquity. Seriously, they'd get annihilated. Honestly, the Kingdom of Yaman is seriously one-sided. Their air power can rival the Lighthouse Nation, but their naval strength is probably on par with the Mongol Kingdom's navy. Ha! On par with the 7 Warlords of the Sea? That's hilarious. Ha! The Yaman Kingdom has its fans. But they have haters too. But still, this time they've really caught them red-handed. Who doesn't know the Yemen Kingdom's naval power is practically non-existent? What are they gonna use to fight pirates? With their heads? So when the anti-piracy declaration was issued, it drew ridicule from countless people worldwide. No one held out hope for this crackdown. Zhang Yi knew this outcome was inevitable, which is why he had long harbored ambitions to develop naval capabilities. It just hadn't been realized yet. The development of a kingdom. It involves too many domains. It was impossible to cover all bases in such a short time. For instance, just within the city walls, building infrastructure, developing land forces, advancing air power, boosting the economy, improving healthcare, while simultaneously managing affairs in Yisili and Gasha. This alone kept Zhang Yi sufficiently occupied. But there's no need to rush. For Zhang Yi, time is the one resource he lacks the least. If all else fails, he could boost his prestige points to accelerate progress. If push came to shove, Zhang Yi could leverage the game system to forge a formidable naval force in record time. It all comes down to who will have the last laugh. Bang to land. As a region geographically close to the Gulf of Aden, its location is advantageous for pirate activities. Bantran has spawned numerous areas catering to pirate services. This place naturally became the most concentrated area for Somali pirates. In a filthy, stinking neighborhood tavern littered with trash, pirates guzzled alcohol. Many were passed out on the floor, vomit splattered everywhere, mixed with all manner of refuse. The stench emanating from it was unforgettable. What? The Kingdom of Yemen issued a proclamation to crack down on us? A burly man with a thick beard, a rugged face, and reeking of alcohol was questioning one of his underlings. Yes, sir. Look, this is the official announcement from Yemen. Ha! Hassan Rio burst into laughter upon hearing this. With them? The Lighthouse Nation said they have no naval power whatsoever, they couldn't possibly threaten us. Relax, this is just scare tactics. I'm not easily intimidated. In the Somali pirate world, there was a notorious figure named Abdi Hassan, nicknamed Big Mouth. He was designated by a UN report as one of the most notorious and influential pirate leaders in Somali waters. In 2008, he led his crew in hijacking the super cruise ship Sirius from Shandong. In 2009, he hijacked the Ukrainian-flagged Fizz, loaded with weapons. At the time, these hijackings garnered worldwide attention and caused a global sensation. He finally retired from piracy in 2013. In October of that same year, he was apprehended by a joint police task force at Bru International Airport. Thus ended the pirate career of this legendary figure in the world of piracy. Hassan Rio has emerged as Abdi Hassan's successor, now one of the principal leaders of Somali pirates, commanding the entire Somali pirate network. Upon hearing that the Kingdom of Yemen was preparing to strike against them, Hassan Rio was overjoyed. A nation without even a naval force declaring it will crack down on pirates? This news is as laughable and absurd as sending a double amputee onto the soccer field to play. But then again, the Kingdom of Yemen is undeniably powerful in other areas. Could it be they've been hiding their strength all along? Another minor leader spoke up, seemingly by accident. Hassan Rio waved him off, belched, and a foul odor wafted from his mouth. Impossible. Do you think the Lighthouse Council would deceive us? And even if they had naval power, we wouldn't need to fear them. Why? Hassan Rio chuckled, motioning for the lieutenant to lean closer. Hassan Rio whispered in his ear, the Lighthouse Nation has said that if the Yemen Kingdom truly has hidden naval forces, the Lighthouse Nation will intervene. Got it? At these words, the other man finally relaxed, a relieved smile spreading across his face. If we're talking about the Lighthouse Nation's greatest strength, it truly lies in the maritime domain. With just 11 sea-going warships and supercarriers, we're enough to leave any other nation in the world in the dust. No matter how formidable the Kingdom of Yemen may be, they can't exactly hide an aircraft carrier, can they? Such things cannot be concealed. If they exist, they will inevitably be exposed. If it hasn't been exposed, it simply doesn't exist. And if the Kingdom of Yemen and the Lighthouse Nation were to clash at sea without a single aircraft carrier to their name, forget one Yemen kingdom. Even 10 or 100 of them couldn't stand a chance against the Lighthouse Nation. Hassan Rio knew the Kingdom of Yemen was fierce. They're fearless in battle. When the Lighthouse Nation ordered them to threaten Yemen, he initially refused. Not until they offered military aid and guaranteed intervention at critical moments, only then did he feel reassured. This worry-free arrangement. No strings attached, just a deal where all he had to do was talk. Why not take it? Upon learning of this matter, their stance was nearly identical to that of Hassan Rio. Perhaps suppressed too long by the Kingdom of Yemen, everyone had a pent-up sense of urgency. Finally, in one domain, they could utterly crush and dominate the Kingdom of Yemen. The high-ranking officials of the Lighthouse Nation were overjoyed. Notify the Somali pirates, if the Kingdom of Yemen fails to pay the toll, every merchant ship that passes through henceforth is to be seized, not a single one spared. Mons ordered. Determined to escalate the conflict to its absolute limit. Chapter 195, No More Pretenses. Eastern coast of Kuwait. Ahmed Province, Jua Base. Here stood one of the Lighthouse Nation's major maritime military bases in Jungdong. The base bears the name of Kuwait's first defense minister, Ahmad Sabah. Though termed a joint base between the Lighthouse Nation and Kuwait, built to safeguard mutual interests in the Jungdong region. In reality, it serves as the Lighthouse Nation's backyard. For Kuwait, as a nation, holds virtually no bargaining power before the Lighthouse Nation. The claim that it is jointly maintained by both parties, merely to soften the perception of hegemony. As one of the United States' largest military bases in Jungdong, the base is fully equipped with internal facilities. Infrastructure includes a port, docks, and vessel berthing areas. It provides maritime services including docking, resupply, and maintenance for U.S. vessels. It also features a dedicated helicopter landing pad to facilitate rotary wing operations. The Lighthouse Nation invested significant resources in constructing this base. It has invested significant effort into the base's development, primarily used for military activities and training exercises during peacetime to deter neighboring nations. Moreover, the base's advantageous geographical location. It controls maritime transport routes in the Bas Bay, indirectly influencing the operation of maritime trade across the entire Jungdong region. The existence of this base has become one of the Lighthouse Nation's primary tools for maintaining control over Jungdong, serving as one of its greatest sources of confidence in the region. Inside the base, Lucas, the base's commander-in-chief, was in communication with Mons, the Lighthouse Nation's Minister of Defense. How about it? Everything I've said is in order, right? Lucas chuckled contemptuously. Rest assured, Minister. Should the kingdom of